Meeting, it was good. We had a good meeting, good and cordial meeting with the Deputy Prime Minister. Appreciate her making the effort to come out and engage with myself here in the province of Saskatchewan and other leaders around the nation. But I am realistic with respect to the outcomes that can be achieved. But we had a good discussion around the new deal that we had proposed and what opportunities we have to collaborate on some of those terms as we move forward through the next days and weeks and months, as well as we discussed the most recent labor disruption at CN and how what opportunities we may have to alleviate some of the accumulated backlog that we now have in our industries here in Saskatchewan, as well as a number of other items. So it was a cordial meeting. It was a good meeting, and very appreciative of the Deputy Prime Minister visiting Saskatchewan.
Were there any commitments made on either side?
There are no commitments made with respect. This was a listening meeting for the Deputy Prime Minister, and understandably, she's been on the job, I believe, for 6 days now. So we brought her up to speed from Saskatchewan's perspective, and also, had some good discussion with respect to, what potentially could be possible with each of the items that we talked about.
Did you get a sense from the minister that she or the federal government is willing to budge on applying a federal carbon tax equalization? Do you get any sense that those are items on the table up for negotiating, compromising?
That was not the purpose of the Deputy Prime Minister's visit. The purpose of her visit was to get up to speed and to listen to myself on behalf of the province of Saskatchewan. And so we had a good conversation with respect to where the challenges are, why those challenges are there from our province's perspective, and what we foresee as opportunities on how we could potentially move forward and collaborate on some of those challenges with respect to carbon taxation, equalization, and the fiscal stabilization program, for example, as well as getting our products to market. And at no time is that more evident how reliant we are on pipelines and rails than over the course of this past week. So we had a good discussion on all of those topics. There was no commitments or indications made. However, there was a willingness to listen, and we appreciate that. We appreciate the willingness to listen. In the days and weeks ahead, and we ask for this today, we'll be looking for action. We'll be looking for action from this federal government, understanding the frustration that was identified by the Prime Minister on election night, and the fact that the Prime Minister wanted to support that frustration that was evident here in the province of Saskatchewan. So we're thankful for the listening exercise that we're through here today. Thankful for the listening exercise, in fairness, with the Prime Minister the other day as well. In the days ahead, we'll be looking for how the action will occur, when it will occur, and exactly in which industries it will occur. The carbon tax we've always felt is not the appropriate tool to use in the province of Saskatchewan. We feel there are other opportunities for us to make a real difference in the way of emissions reductions and sequestration enhancements. So we've never felt it's the appropriate tool. We've also have always felt that it's the provincial jurisdiction to decide what the appropriate tool is. Listen, we have a great and diverse nation. We truly do. Part of that strength of Canada is the diversity not only of our people, but the diversity of how we create wealth and in each of our communities. It's very different in Saskatchewan than other areas of the nation. But in saying that, we are producing some of the most sustainable products in the world, and there is hopefully a conversation that we can enter into about recognizing some of that investment and some of what has already been done. In addition to the New Deal, we also discussed the upcoming meeting at the Council of Federation as well, and the opportunities that we may have as premiers to work together on a number of items, such as, for example, in Saskatoon, premiers had some language in the communique with respect to climate policy and the provincial jurisdiction that falls under, and that it will be much more effective when you have the provincial jurisdictions enacting their climate policy, recognizing and respecting that all provinces and territories sign the Vancouver Declaration, which is a very different document than the Pan-Canadian climate change framework, which not all of the provinces and territories signed. So that was one of the items where we had a discussion with respect to provincial jurisdiction, and is there an opportunity to shift this to more of an environmental conversation? I don't know if I won't speak as to why the Prime Minister chose Minister Freeland to be the Deputy Prime Minister and to work with the province provinces outside of the fact that I think she's a competent individual. She's a competent politician and a competent minister. Beyond that, you'd have to ask the Prime Minister as to why she's in this specific file. But as I said, I do appreciate the fact that she was here today. But I also, as I say, I'm a realist, and in the days and weeks and months ahead, we are going to be looking for some movement and some action. The frustration that the Prime Minister identified in this province is due to the policy direction that has been occurring over the course of the last 4 years, and if that is not going to change, that frustration is going to continue.
Do you think Minister Freeland understands the frustration? I
think it's fair to say that that meetings like today are most certainly helping her not only understand the frustration, but understand the reasons behind it. I don't think exclusively on the topic of Western separation. However, we did discuss the frustrations that that have been identified not only by the Prime Minister but by me on many occasions. And what we talked more about was some of the sources behind some of those frustrations, which essentially brings us to the new deal that we had offered. And is there opportunities to collaboratively work, if you will, on things like the implementation of Bill C-69, to collaboratively work so that bill may or may not actually become workable for industry. We feel there is some opportunities in the implementation of it to make it a better bill, but ultimately there's going to have to be some changes to the legislation itself.
This morning you told Arthur that
only because he asked.
You don't think that separation has any benefits at this point in time. In your mind, could there be a point in time where separation is an answer to frustration towards the Federation?
Yeah, I don't feel that separation is in the best interest of Saskatchewan.
So what did you mean when you said at this point?
Well, I made the comment this morning. Here's the thing with that. I don't believe separation is in the best interest of the province of Saskatchewan. Here's why. It doesn't do anything to solve the very real frustrations that I'm hearing from Saskatchewan people. The issues we have around market access around the world, separating from the nation of Canada does nothing to solve those issues. With respect to getting our products to port, getting our products to the 150 countries that we deal with all around the world, separation does nothing to advance our ability to do that. So it is my belief that separation is not in the best interest of Saskatchewan.
How come you said at this point in time?
Yeah, I don't know. I did. But it's true. At this point in time, it is not in the best interest of Saskatchewan.
You do realize that by saying that, it kind of opens the door, leaves a possibility that at a future point in time. Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't believe separation is in the best interest of Saskatchewan.
Ever?
Never.